So I have an important question for you Yankee fans. Does Gleyber Torres go or does he stay? What do I mean by that? Has he played well enough to justify a contract that's bigger than the qualifying offer, which is $21 million? So could the Yankees, are they considering or reconsidering now giving him a qualifying offer if right now they're confident enough that it's going to be rejected in him to sign a bigger deal with another team? Okay, this is a key question. Okay, and the reason why I bring this up because I want to go over the other couple of second basemen in the market, just and compare them to Gleyber Torres. Okay. And by the way, if you're a Yankee fan and you're not subscribed to this channel, and you like good regular Yankee chat, you like to join live streams, you like breaking news as it comes in, make sure you hit that sub button. Okay, we're marching towards 22,000 subs. Your support is greatly appreciated. It means the world, and I thank you for it. Now, Gleyber Torres this year, he got up to a terrible stretch. Terrible start, right? He's kind of rebounded. He's been batting almost 300 over the last month and a half. He's got a 567 at bats, 114 hits, 15 home runs, and he's batting 254 this year. Okay, with a WAR of 1.5. Now, comparatively speaking, and I'm not going to underestimate his defensive ineptitude. That happens, unfortunately, and it happens to offset a lot of his offensive potential. But when he's on, this dude can hit. He can hit, okay? And he's only 27 years old, too. So that's a net advantage for him, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of these are the second basemen that are available. Brandon Lowe. He's batting 242, 20 homers, 55 ribbies, OPS of 787. But he's 31 years old, coming off Tampa. So that's one of them. Then you have Adam Frazier. He's batting 202, 4 homers, 20 ribbies, and 2 steals, 579 OPS. Then you got Brandon Drury. He's batting 167, 4 homers, 15 ribbies, 471 OPS. And lastly, you got Jorge Polanco. Okay. He's batting 206, 15 homers, 43 ribbies, 634 OPS. And he's also 31 years old. So, with the exception of Brandon Lowe, Gleyber Torres to me is the top second baseman in free agency this year, or this coming offseason. So, generally, when there's a top player at the position, he's going to wind up cashing in, right? Especially if some of these other guys come off the board and Gleyber Torres is still sitting there, it could create a bidding war. And again, I do think that he's probably cost himself anywhere between 50 and 100 million in free agency. I do think that he has because of the season he's had. Okay, he could have probably had 160, maybe even a bigger deal, and he had a good year. So unfortunately, he's cost himself quite a bit of money. But that's the question. Does he bank on a one-year prove-it deal as a la the QO or with someone else? Is he going to bet on himself? And what if he doesn't play well? And maybe he costs himself a potential for a contract. Because I do think he probably parlayed himself into maybe $70 or $80 million deal, which is still pretty good. At 27, you get a 5-year deal for $80 million, $16 million per. It's less than the qualifying offer, but are you going to leave $60 million on the table and take a chance on a qualifying offer that might not pay off? So that's a risk. I mean, it's a risk that he would be taking, and then the Yankees would be taking off on a risk giving him a qualifying offer, right? At the beginning of the year, I thought it would be him and Alex Verdugo get a qualifying offer. I don't think there's a chance in the world Verdugo gets one. I'd be shocked if he did. But the left field glass isn't super deep either. But I do think Gleyber Torres in this particular position stands out at second base. And I think there's a better than 50-50 chance that the Yankees might offer him a qualifying offer. And if they do and he signs elsewhere, they get a draft pick, a compensatory pick, high up in the draft. So, and the last time the Yankees had one, Nick Swisher got a QO, rejected it, signed with the Cleveland Indians, then Indians, and that compensatory pick turned into Aaron Judge. So that was the pick that they gave up, or that they got for Nick Swisher, turned into Aaron freaking Judge. So you never know. You never know. But my question to you is, has Gleyber Torres played himself, or has he played well enough, or played himself into a qualifying offer? And the other question I have for you, yes, it's a risk. Do you see the Yankees offering him a QO? And do you see him rejecting it? And do you think he would get a bigger contract? And how much bigger of a contract would justify turning down a QO? right? I don't think he's going to make. He's making $14.2 million this year. The QO is clearly that's a 50% raise. So I don't think he's going to get $20 million per year in over multiple years. But then Javi Baez got 20 plus per year for multiple years. So you never know, right? So he could get $100 million deal. It's better than paying $200 million for him, right? But I could still see him getting 70 million, 80 million, something like that, even 60, whatever. And is he going to leave 40, 50, 60 million dollars on the table for one year qualifying offer? And keep in mind too, the Yankees can only offer, baseball teams can only offer a player qualifying offer once. So if he gets a QO now, he can't bet, he can't come back next year and get another one. So he would be banking on himself to play extremely well to justify the QO, right? And again, justify a bigger contract that he would get if he plays extremely well. So that's the question I have for you today. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts are. I appreciate your insights. I think this will be part of a great discussion. So maybe next time I have a live stream, we could talk about this. Okay. And I do think he's going to get a bigger contract. Where, I don't know. And keep in mind too, he doesn't have to play second base. If they don't want him to field, they could just put him DH. 30 teams need a DH, right? So, and not everybody needs one clearly, but there are more than probably a dozen teams who could bring him in. Seattle could bring him in. The Marlins. He could even platoon DH and infield. So I think quite a few teams could bring him in as an offensive tool or an offensive weapon, and he can bring a decent amount of value for them. But is it enough for the Yankees to give him a QO? And how would you feel if he accepted the QO on the Yankees? I don't want anything that's going to interrupt their ability to re-sign Juan Soto personally. And I don't want to get in the way of other guys like Caleb Durbin and some of the young, Jordan Vivas and like some of these younger, Oswald Peraza if he stays here. I talked about him being a trade candidate, a likely trade candidate too. So if he does get traded, he gets traded. But if he doesn't, he should be one of the guys getting an opportunity too. So that still remains to be seen, I think. But this one here, it's definitely food for thought. I just wonder what side of the line the Yankees are on right now. It feels like they're considering offering him a QO, but again, it's a risk. Just like Anthony Rizzo, he's got a $17 million option for 2025, but a $6 million buyout. So, and I like Rizzo. I love Rizzo. I love what he's brought to the team, and I hope they win a championship this year so that if they do walk away from him, he goes out with as a two-time champ. With a Yankee hardware, Yankee freaking thing. So, but I want the Ben Rice movement to take place. I want him to get as many opportunities as they gave Anthony Volpe, right? And like they're giving Austin Wells now. So, and he's showing that he can hit the ball again. This guy's a smart player. He's Ivy League educated with a Dartmouth, and he's going to make the adjustments. And I do think, by doing this, you're going from Verdugo to Dominguez, most likely in left field. So you're saving $10 million there. You would be going from Anthony Rizzo to Ben Rice, saving another $17 million. That's $27 million. And if you add Gleyber Torres to that, right, that's $14 million. I don't think they would replace Gleyber Torres with any one of these free agents. So I think they're going to go probably one of their prospects or move Jazz Chisholm to second and go after a third baseman in free agency. There are options here for the Yankees if they don't want to play TJ Rumfield or whatever. There are options available. And it might make more sense for them to move Jazz second and go after a third baseman for agency. We'll see. That still remains to be seen. So this is going to be a very, very interesting offseason. And I'll keep you posted on every bit of it. So you know what to do if you don't want to miss it. Have a great day, gang. Go Yankees.